the absolute circus that is British politics continues unabated. The Afghan smuggling scandal is now in, its second day, possibly third day? I'm not even paying attention anymore. But more has come out, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's not even incompetence, right? it is incompetence, but it's also this kind of really stupid, misplaced. It's not malevolence, because these people are just genuinely stupid, right? But this kind of misplaced misunderstanding of what actually the moral thing to do for the country is, right? Like, they're living 150 years ago, and they think that everything is actually as it was when the British Empire was at its height, and so we need to be those kinds of men, and that's the correct thing to do, and we need to be honourable in the same way they would have been honourable. It's like, well, no, things have changed, dramatically changed, and it's not like that. But anyway, let's begin. So, of course, you'll remember that the UK government decided to spend £7 billion smuggling in possibly up to 100,000 Afghans, because some retard sent an email with a list of collaborators attached to it, and the British government now feel that they're about to all be massacred by the Taliban. So the question is, what kind of people are they, aside from just being collaborators with the foreign government? But it turns out a lot of them are going to be paedophiles, actually, because Vice and many others have done documentaries going to Afghanistan and asking, look, this Bakabazi thing, it sounds a bit weird. What's that? Oh, it means boy play. Basically, as Vice tell us in this documentary, we kidnap the young boys, force them to serve us, and then we rape them. And the thing is, I've had friends who have served in Afghanistan, Iraq, and various other places, and they tell you, yes, it happens there, and you're told just to ignore it. It's like, hang on a second, when the Taliban took over, they suppressed this. They suppressed the poppy trade, the heroin trade, they suppressed this nonsense. It's like, sorry, why are we on the boy raping side? Exactly. Why are we suppressing the boy rape? Not suppressing, sorry. Why are we permitting the boy raping in Afghanistan? Like, I'm not in favour of that, right? I'm not in favour of any of this. And now they're like, yeah, we're just going to import 100,000 paedophiles into your country instead. It's like, oh, great. Oh, brilliant. It's so ridiculous. You have to laugh, because otherwise I'm just going to get really angry. And there's nothing I can do about it. Right? I'm sat here. There's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, so everyone's like, yeah, the Taliban got this leaked data set. And the Taliban just came out like, yeah, we had it the whole time. This wasn't new. You didn't send us this accidentally or something. We already had it. Because remember, we took over everything because you ran like a bunch of cowards in the night as quickly as possible. Again, a kind of cavalcade of clowns rolling over themselves and people falling off of planes for some reason. Even though the Taliban were like, we can't take this. We can't defeat you in battle or anything. And yet here we are. You guys are running away, bizarrely. And you left us everything. $65 million or $1 billion worth of weaponry. And you left us all your computers, everything you had. And so we had all of it, unsurprisingly. And the thing is, as well, the Taliban didn't even care. As Morgoth has pointed out, according to the High Court judgment on the Afghan cover-up, they didn't even care about the data breach. They just, they don't care. It appears unlikely that merely being on the dataset would be grounds for targeting. Therefore, it's also unlikely that family members would be targeted simply because the principal appears in the dataset. Everything about this is just a clownish fuck-up. Right? And what's crazy about this is that the Conservative Party is not the party that took us into Afghanistan. Right? That was the Labour Party. The Conservative Party could have just come out and gone, look, this is your mess, we're not cleaning it up. What we're going to do is just, get out of this and just draw a line under it and then gone, done, not our problem. But the Conservatives have taken full ownership of what the Labour Party have done. Have decided, we're totally in favour of the Afghans having liberal democracy, and we're going to commit to this even if it ruins us. And the thing is, it kind of is ruining them. So the BBC is, of course, silent on this. As Dominic Cummings points out on this was the BBC's front page yesterday. Absolutely nothing. Guy being sacked from MasterChef. Oh, that seems important. The guys who felled the Sycamore Gap tree. Yep. Nothing about this, though. Weird, that, isn't it? Anyway, so, the point is, why were the Conservatives so insistent on getting as many rapists into the country as possible? You may remember this post from 2021 from Robert Jenrick. I was pleased to meet with Ahmadullah and his family in Nottinghamshire, an Afghan interpreter who worked alongside British forces in Helmand. Over a third of local councils have already agreed to support, house and integrate families like this. Operation Warm Welcome. And that goes to now a couple of years later where he's like, oh look, the rate of sex crime convictions per 10,000 for Afghans is 59, which is higher than the Eritreans. That is mental. And it's like, okay, what caused the turnaround, mate? He wrote an article in the Telegraph, welcoming Afghan refugees is a national project. September 2021. Why is this our fucking problem, Robert? And my question to you is, how exactly did you go from this to English nationalism? I'm really curious. I really think we are entitled to an explanation for this, because it seems to me that you are an open borders, pro-immigration, welcome the Afghan rapists activist until like 10 minutes ago. Because you knew about this, you were part of this, you were in fact definitely in Parliament you were in the government at this time. So I want some answers on this. And then you get people like Ben Wallace, he's another treacherous Tory MP who's behind all of this. He posted this. 76 years ago, British, Commonwealth, French and US soldiers landed on the Normandy beaches. Thousands died. They did so to end fascism. They did so that Black Lives would matter. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe what a bunch... I can believe what a bunch of cuckold sellouts the Conservatives are. The spineless, weak leftists. I can totally believe it. Yeah. Our ancestors, in 2020, he said our ancestors fought D-Day so Black Lives would matter. And unsurprisingly, he's like, look, we need just more Afghan rapists. Look, there's not enough Afghan rapists in the world for us to cram into the country, but we're going to get as many of them as exist. Like, the British government is going to commit itself to secretly smuggling in Afghan... And the thing is, right, they were collaborators with a foreign regime. We just happened to be that foreign regime. And also, they were shit. They just broke them round at the first opportunity, and now they're like, oh, can we come over here and rape children in your country? And it's like, I guess the answer from the Conservatives is like, yes, of course you can. Because the Conservative Party is probably an institutionally Nazi party itself. Anyway, moving on. So, as you can see, the blame is being passed around, and so Suella Braverman comes out and be like, look, nothing to do with me. I wasn't in the government at this point. I wasn't in the cabinet at this point. This is nothing to do with me. And fair enough, if the dates line up, the dates line up. But I'm not surprised that they're all like, shit, someone's taking the fall for this. And the thing is, at the moment, it's kind of looking like it's Jenrick and, what's his name? Ben Wallace. It genuinely looks like it's these two idiots. Anyway, Kemi Badenoch. Kemi Badenoch is completely exonerated from all of this because she was working on African time. She only learned about the data breach on Monday because she missed the security briefing in March. I mean, everyone says that Kemi Badenoch is lazy. She turns up for everything late. She works on African time, and it's just saved her bacon there. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, there were people on the inside trying to tell us about this. As you can see, the Home Office sacked an inspector after he was like, are we sure that importing 100,000 Afghan rapists is actually a good idea? Do you not think this might be, quote-unquote, high risk? And maybe we should have some security checks. And they were like, you're fired? What are you still doing here? Clean out your desk. You're gone. And when the judge lifted the injunction, the Ministry of Defence immediately appealed it, seeking to reinstate what was in effect a censorship order, as starting to make a brief point out. So, all right, the injunction's going to be lifted. No. We want that in place, please. It's like, why? Why do you want the British public to not know about this? And the answer is, of course, because it makes you look like incompetent traitors who want to pack the country with paedophile rapists. Because I just don't know how else I would describe this, frankly. But anyway, there was one judge who was like, can we make it so that people are allowed to know that the government is trafficking humans into the country against the will of the British public and without their knowledge? And they were like, no, why would the public need to know that? Shut up. It's costing them $7 billion. That's it. And you've got to remember as well, and Paul makes a good point here, there were only 1,000 Afghan soldiers who fought alongside the British. So it's like, okay, 1,000, not great, but it's not that many. It's not the 100,000 or so that we're going to end up taking. And, this is preposterous. This is completely disproportionate. Anyone who translated a letter for someone is a threat from the Taliban, even though the Taliban are like, shut up, we don't care. Anyway, you might be like, okay, well, at least the Bakabazi aficionados are going to be thankful that they're here. They're at least going to be grateful for the hospitality, and the answer is no. 650 of them are going to sue the British government for losing their data that nobody cared about anyway. It's like, really? Really? I see. That's so thankful. Literally, one of them who came across on the Afghan relocations and assistance policy also sexually assaulted a teenage girl in Staffordshire. Because you just don't understand these people, and they don't think like you. They're not like us. They have very different views on, what is and isn't appropriate to do to children. And so I'm just so glad that the Conservatives have crammed as many of these child rapists into our country as possible. I can't wait to vote for the Conservatives at the next election. Because can't say that with a straight face. But honestly, it's not. I mean, all I can do is take the piss, right? All I can do, because this is just, it is so infuriating, but it's also so clownish, right? Like, the betrayal. Obviously, everyone expects the betrayal on every level from every government we get, right? Conservative, Labour, it doesn't matter. Just everyone expects to be betrayed all the time. But this is like layers of incompetence, peeling back an onion of incompetence to find the black heart of treachery at the bottom is a Tory MP stabbing you in the back. It's just like, oh, great. I just can't even imagine. Can't even imagine what good governance looks like these days. But this is what's happened. And it is just, I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny because, Labour at least get to, sit down and shut up on this. But the Conservatives at every level are just fucking terrible. They're just terrible. And they've been such unmitigated traitors and so incompetent. And so the whole thing looks like a circus. And they look like clowns. And I just can't believe that the British public are like, well, I don't know, I'm going to have to vote Labour.